you have doubts about being a parent, yet you have a son or daughter who are acting out, angry, entitled, fight with you, argue with you or your wife? Some parents have come to me and asked, well, Jim, but when I was a child, when I was an adolescent, there were things I did that I am very sorry for. There was a moral level that I conducted my life that I have a shame about, and I am sorry I did these things. What right do I have to tell my son or daughter to do different than I did? What right do I have? I want to tell you that you have complete right, because you are a parent. You never have to defend your base right to make decisions as you see fit in the parenting of your children, long as it is legal and you love your child more than any other person on the planet. How did you come to know truth? Whichever way that you did, then don't sacrifice your child. Don't conduct, as it were, Russian roulette with your son or daughter, conducting an experiment, as it were. There are many entities, societies, cultures, organizations that are doing that very thing, playing Russian roulette with your children, forcing a square peg into a round hole to support an agenda and say certain philosophies, certain beliefs will work with your child to change behavior in ways that he or she is to conduct their lives. But you are the parent. Do not have doubt on that. You have to be careful that through your son or daughter you are not somehow trying to satisfy some feeling of guilt that you have inside you for what you did in your past. Like we said earlier, how you came upon knowing truth in your path towards learning what is real, what is living on life's terms really about. Don't let that reinforce guilt in your life. And don't use your son and daughter as a tool, as it were, to satisfy unfinished business of the past. You have to be careful that through your son or daughter you are not somehow trying to satisfy some feeling of guilt that you have inside you for what you did in your past. Like we said earlier, how you came upon knowing truth in your path towards learning what is real, what is living on life's terms really about. Don't let that reinforce guilt in your life. And don't use your son and daughter as a tool, as it were, to satisfy unfinished business of the past. Finally, what was the relationship with you and your mother, father, guardians, grown-ups during your times of adolescence and so on? Do you still feel a frustration, a resentment for things that happened? Then if you have unfinished resentment, anger, holding it as your right, this will create a doubt and uncertainty in your ability to parent, while you will go to your child, maybe even contribute, while not meaning to do so, to your child having a power over you to settle something of the past. It is an interesting thing. Let's say you are a sensitive person and you grew up with the strange phenomenon that you were being criticized by your parents, sometimes in anger, that you are not sensitive. Or you have some other gift of personality, yet that thing about you was being criticized. there is a strange phenomenon that which is your greatest gift is the very thing that will be criticized and attacked by others that don't have that same strength or gift. And yes, it'll even be people from your own home. Now, here is the thing. Many of us parents, through feeling guilt and uncertainty of parenting, will find our angry children rising up in defiance and strangely, and I'm using the word strangely again, criticizing us in the very same way that we were criticized by parents and others when we were young. This has to do with the phenomenon I'm saying. Your greatest gift and strength will be criticized by others who are weak in those precise areas. But you need to rise up and work on not having doubt. Take advantage of others to support you as a team. It is a particular suffering. Listen to what I'm saying. Maybe you know what I mean. To have grown up being misunderstood in a certain way and be criticized in that precise way, and then find yourself be the parent of a son or a daughter rising up again in angry judgment and criticize you as if they were your parent, doing the same form of criticizing. This is why we must let go of resentment in order for that resentment not to weaken us. No, your son or daughter needs you. And I suggest that when you're dealing with a system, a society and culture, you need a team. Because a lot of what you go through as father, mother, guardian, when your child is lording it over you in your own home and taking the peace away from the home in order to punish you for he or she not getting what they want, it becomes overwhelming. And you're up against a system that supports your child as victim. And it takes a system to defeat a system. It takes a team, relatives, friends, professionals that team together and elevate you as parent to be the director of your kid's intervention. Don't have doubt being a parent. Don't feed that into your child. Stand up and be strong. Never defend that you are a parent. We will be learning through these videos as we build one block on the other on how you're going to build a team that will support you as a child and that will support you as a parent, and will turn your child around.